Okay, so how about let's go into what we think our best 11s are. Ahaan, do you want to start us off?
So for my 11, for the opening issues, I've gone for Shaw and Dhawan because I think Dhawan and Rahane are very similar players, and they go at the same strike rates and everything. So I had to pick one because Shaw is the one who's going to get us up to the really fast starts and bash it. So I went with the Dhawan because he's the current India. He's closer to the Indian T20 team now than Rahane is, and he had a very good season for us last year. So I see no reason to change. Then for the middle order, I wanted to build the middle order around that. So who's the key players in our middle order? It's Iyer and Pant, right? So I wanted them to be at their key positions and then build it around that. So I've got Iyer at 4 and Pant at 5. So to fit the other players around them, I've gone for this might be a slightly left field pick, but I've gone for Stoinis at 3 because I saw him play in the match against England, the third T20. When he came in at 3, he really went after it in the power play. And even in the Big Bash, he was the highest run scorer of this Big Bash, and he was opening the batting. So I think he's better up the order than he is down the order to finish because he takes some time down the order. So I'd have Stoinis at 3, Iyer at 4, Pant at 5. And then I have Shimron Hetmeyer at 6 because he has the capability to hit the ball and clear the ropes very easily. So I definitely go for Hetmeyer at 6 to finish. And then from there, I've got Aksar and Ashwin at 7 and 8. They can bat in whatever order they want. I think they're pretty interchangeable in terms of where you bat them at 7 and 8. I'll come back to my number 9 player. It's kind of where I'm a bit confused, but I've gone for Rabada and Ishant to finish, so 10 and 11. Now for number 9, Delhi have a lot of options in terms of what they want. If they want a third spinner, they can go for Sandeep Lamichhane. However, that's not what I'd go for in this team. If you want to play Lamichhane, then you take out Aksar, play either a Harshal Patel or Lalit Yadav, who was really good in the videos, or then you play Lamichhane as your foreign spin bowling option. But I'd go for me the toss up is between Nauthier, Sams, and Paul because Sams has taken the most wickets in the BBL. Nauthier is, I think, a great death bowling option, and he's got the stats as well. And then there's Paul, who I think the Delhi franchise will start with because he's been with us for a while and he's a good player. And as Kabir said, he's lengthens the batting. So I think Delhi will start with Paul. But I think if that doesn't work initially, Nauthier is who I'd go with because with him and Rabada to close the innings, I think they'd be a lethal combination and they do really well at the death for us. So yeah.
Okay. So just go 1 to 11 again. Just repeat that.
Shaw, Dhawan, Stoinis, Iyer, Pant, Hetmeyer, Ashwin, Aksar, Kimo Paul, Rabada, and Ishant to start, and then Nauthier to come in.
Right. Okay. I think that Shreyas Iyer's best spot's 3, but
I think Iyer has become comfortable batting at 4 because that's where he bats also in the Indian team. And I know have your players bat at the most number of positions, but I think Stoinis is a very, very good batsman at 3.
Oh, 100%. For sure.
Makes the middle order really robust. 3, 4, 5, 6 are one of the best in the league for it, I think.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I can definitely see Ricky Ponting putting Mark Stoinis at 3. So it's definitely a real possibility.
Yeah. Unless he plays Rahane. I think he'll play all 3 because Rahane's been looking good in the videos as well.
Okay, Noor. So how about we go into yours now? Ahaan, that's pretty interesting. But I want to hear Noor's and see if we have a similar team.
Well, I've got the same players as Ahaan, but like a little different. Okay. The order is different. But I've done Shaw and Dhawan as the openers. I same kind of rationale as why not to pick Rahane. I just think Shaw and Dhawan are more in form and more current right now than Rahane is, even though he is class and great. I put Shreyas Iyer at 3. I've put Rishabh Pant at 4, Hetmeyer at 5, Marcus Stoinis at 6. The reason I have like Stoinis at 6 and not at 3 is because I think he's a great finisher. Like I think he gives you pretty like good power there. I also like a 5 or 6 you can see with the Pant, Hetmeyer and Stoinis, where you want to play them. That's negotiable. But I play Shreyas Iyer at 3. And I play these guys after them because I don't know if you guys remember this, but last year, whenever it felt like Shreyas Iyer got out, it felt like, okay, now this is either going to be a collapse of the middle order or maybe it's going to be fine. But there was lots of uncertainty there last year. And I think by having a Marcus Stoinis coming down a little later, you kind of have that little leeway or that little comfort there. which is my rationale. But I can see him playing at 3 as well in a T20 game. But then I go with Paul. He's not my preferred pacer, Chemo Paul, but I think just for some depth in batting, he's a good option. Also in slow wickets, he did pretty well last year on slow wickets, so maybe that could be an advantage as well. Then I've got Ashwin, Aksar, Ishant Sharma, and Rabada. So that is my team with 3 pacers. Uh, my biggest heartbreak of this team, and I'll already tell you that, is that Mishi doesn't make my top 11 by itself. Only when you have to play 3 spinners does he make it. Then also it's a bit of a struggle. But I love him, dude. He's the second highest wicket taker in the IPL. He's a legend. But unfortunately, he doesn't make my top 11 here.
Fair enough. Yeah. I think it's pretty, but I don't know. I feel like I trust Aksar's batting more than I trust Chemo.
Fair enough. I mean, I don't have anything to argue, but I think that's like fair enough. Obviously, my team is a little bit different, but I definitely do see the points.
Let's
Actually,
hear it.
both of you.
Now
as
it's
to
not
why.
with him.
I think this is the
Yeah.
first time
Okay. So.
we have the same team. I'm excited.
Yeah. So I've gone with Dhawan and Shaw. Obviously, I don't think Rahane really makes the first team for us, just because he isn't as attacking as some of the other players and just doesn't really fit in. Then Shreyas Iyer at 3, Rishabh Pant at 4, Hetmeyer at 5, Stoinis at 6. And I didn't really know who to put here because we need a little bit more batting, but we also need a 6th bowler. As in, we need between Stoinis and someone else to bowl 4 overs that aren't going to be bowled by Ishant, Mishra, Ashwin, or Rabada. So as a result, I've picked Chemo Paul reluctantly. I don't think he's that good. Personally, I don't think he performed very well last year. He got smacked around the park. I didn't see anything special. So maybe he'll get swapped out for Sams, or maybe they'll change the balance of the team somehow. But yeah, he's at 7 for me. Then Ashwin, Rabada, Ishant, and Mishra.
1 second. So you've gone on Mishra ahead of Aksar Patel.
I mean, I get that though.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It makes. Think about it though. If he has Paul in the team.
Ahaan, when was the last time Aksar Patel played well? When was the last time he played well?
Aksar Patel is a very consistent bowler. He'll give you 4 overs on most days. 4 overs for 30 runs and maybe a couple of wickets. And he'll also give you a few runs down the order. I remember he saved us in one of the games last year. He hit like a 20 or 30 down the order.
Yeah. I mean,
he has never made runs in the IPL.
I just don't think Mishi is as threatening as he used to be. He's a great bowler, but I don't think he's as threatening as he used to
be. But Mishi had he had 2 really close hat-tricks last season, remember? Both of them got dropped by...
one was in a...
He gets a lot of wickets.
Gets a lot of wickets.
Getting wickets is the problem for us. We've got Wada, we've got Ashwin. These are all wicket-taking bowlers.
Yeah, but Mishi... But yeah, I put Aksar just because I think he gives us a little more flexibility in the batting. But Mishi, for me, Mishi is also good enough to play in this team. Like I mentioned before, he's a wicket taker.
Fair enough. I guess it's a matter of opinion and preference.
I think if you play Mishi, the only thing is you have to then play Paul to get a little bit of batting. But if you don't play Mishi, you play Aksar instead, you can use Enrique as a third pacer. So I think
I really hope you play Nauthier. He looks really good.
I mean, more than anything, I think Chemo Paul and Aksar Patel are interchangeable. I think there are times where we might even just be playing 2 overseas players in the study team because some of our local players are so good. It's definitely a possibility.
And I think towards the latter end,
towards
the latter end of the tournament, Mohit Sharma could become a key player because of his slower balls. He could come into in place of Ishant. He's a good option for Ishant.
I don't see them dropping Ishant.
It's also quite possible that Ishant doesn't play and Nauthier plays.
Really?
No, I don't think so, because I think what Ishant will they get the option because they can bowl Ishant 3 overs up top, and that allows them to leave Rabada for the death, a bit like Bombay or Umrah.
Yeah, I think they'll bowl Ishant just so they can get the opening spell done by him.
Because between Ashwin, Ishant, and maybe 1 over of Rabada or Nauthier, you can get your power play done.